Okay, so previously in our drawing unit, we discussed the idea of a value going from lighter to darker, and we did value using pencils. So we did a lot of gray scales. But in color theory, we learned that any hue, any color can actually have a range of value going from darker to lighter, okay? So today what we're going to do is we're going to put our color wheels aside, and we're going to take some more mixed media paper. Okay, so again, working with a mixed media pad is the best when you're doing painting activities because this paper can handle wet medium. So I'm going to tear up a couple more sheets. And this time what I want to do is I want to illustrate how you can alter a color and create different values of it in 3 different ways. One is lightening it by adding white, one is dulling it by adding gray, and the third way of changing color is by darkening it, which we'll do by adding some black to it, okay? So we want to create 3 charts similar to this with 6 sections in each, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the easiest way to do that is to get a ruler and to put it on the side where you're counting using inches. Okay, and we're going to measure 6 inches from 0 to 6. Okay, and then again, the actual width of the ruler is about 1 inch. So I just scooch the ruler to match my line here, and then I trace the exterior of the ruler, bring it back up to that 6-inch point, and close it off. Okay, then I could go back and I could divvy it up into 6 equal sections, 1 inch each. Okay, and again, we want 3 of these. So I'm going to leave a little bit of space for some writing underneath, and I'm going to do another one just like that. And a third one. Leave a bit of space and make a third one below here. So 0 to 6 inches, and then kind of trace the exterior of your ruler. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 inches. Okay, let's do this one too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so in the first chart, we're going to be doing tinting, and to tint is to lighten a color. Tinting equals lightening a color by adding white. Okay, the next one we're going to create some tones, and to create a tone is to dull a color by adding gray. And the last one is going to be to create shades. To shade is to darken a color by adding black. Okay. So we can choose any color to begin with. The idea though is that that first section here is going to be a saturated color. Saturated. Saturated means the color looks like coming straight out of the tube, unaltered. It's 100% what it should be. 100% red, 100% green, 100% blue, okay? Full-bodied color straight out of the tube. So we're gonna do this one using acrylic, meaning for our palette we need any flat surface that is waterproof. This one is a little bit messy from my color wheel, but that's okay. I've still got lots of room here to do some color mixing. And I want to use any tube, any color straight out of the tube. You can even use the green in this case. You could do a blue, you could do a red, you could do a green, anything that you have a tube out of. Don't go mixing a new color. Just to make life easier, just use one straight out of the tube. I think I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do a green for this one, just to change it up. Okay, so I'm gonna squeeze out some of my saturated green here. Again, I'm using acrylic here. So I'm gonna rinse my brush off. And I don't need water in here, but sometimes it helps to add a little bit of water to your acrylic when you're adding it to paper. So again, you use whatever color you choose. Just make sure that it's a full straight out of the tube color that's in the first section. And I'm going to actually make the first section of all three charts the most saturated. So again, this is unaltered color, straight out of the tube. Didn't do anything to it, just as it is. Okay, so in the first one here, we're going to tint it. And again, to tint a color is to alter it gradually by adding white to lighten it. So let's give it a try. I still got like a healthy amount of green here. So now all I need is a dollop of white. Add some white to my plate here. And you don't want to waste a lot of white here. So again, don't do a big dollop of color, because it's easier to change the color if you've got less color to alter. So if right now you have a big dollop of green or a big dollop of any other color that you're working with, maybe just take a little chunk of it and move it to the side and mix the white into that. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting all of your white trying to dilute this color. Okay, so again, I'm going to take some white and introduce it to my green, enough to change it. Enough to make it visibly different. Okay, and you're going to keep on going. Okay, so keep on adding more white. And every square should be a visibly different shade, or a different tint, sorry. A different tint of green in this case, where you might have a different tint of blue, or if you're working with red, you're going to get different tints of pink. Okay, and add even more white. And more white. And I'm going to clean my brush. For the last one, you want basically an off-white. So it's going to get pretty light in that last one. So what I do with the last one is I literally take whatever light green I have and introduce it back into my blob of white. So the last one is going to be like almost like a white pulling on whatever color it is that you mixed into it. Maybe a very light baby blue, or maybe a very, very pale pink. In this case, it got almost like an apple green off white. Okay. And again, they're a bit shiny now, but when they dry, you'll see the true colors. So you're just going to gradually show me that you can take one color that's fully saturated and you can alter it by making it lighter and lighter and lighter by tinting it with the addition of white. Okay, and try your best to show me a different color or a different value in each block. So we're going to take a break now, let these dry, and next we're going to prepare to create tones. So with tones, rather than mixing in white, we're going to be mixing in gray.